All right, guys, what's the difference between living in Costa Rica, excuse me, and living in the United States? We're going to be talking to Allie. I'm going to introduce her in a minute, about 45 seconds. Guys, I'm Michael Allen from travelcostaricanow.com. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I would appreciate it. Want to show some love? Cool way to donate is the link in the description. Buy me a coffee. You guys know I love coffee. One cup is $5, but since I drink a lot of coffee, Allie, you probably should donate more.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, we're up for the relocation retreat, man. So, if Costa Rica's on your radar, but you're not quite sure if Costa Rica would be right for you, this 6-day event might be for you because I guarantee you get all the information. We have a great time, but at the end, I think you'll go, Costa Rica, or honey, we're going to Belize. Forget Costa Rica. Anyway, all that information, we're going to have our new dates up here in a minute. So all that information is in the link in the description. Both me and Allie would love to see you there. Allie's a speaker, so I don't know if you guys recognize her. She's been in another video. She's the one that gets you a car. And that's a thing here. That is a thing. So when you don't want to ship your car because it's like 72% import taxes, you want to get your car down here, which is actually double the money. But you need somebody that's going to help you out, get you a good car, not going to be ripped off. And we have that. We're not talking about that today, but we have that video, and I will put that link in the description so you can see what Allie actually does and how she can help you. So anyway, Allie, thanks. Thanks a lot. So we're making this up. We're riffing. So we talked about this in one of our videos that we did, but I want to kind of go over like the differences between the United States and here. I know you have kids. Mm-hmm. It can be living here stuff. It can be raising kids stuff. It can be, what do you see as some of the major differences that appeal to you living in Costa Rica? Not that the United States is bad. I'm just saying like
what
appeals here, and maybe a little bit of what the differences.
Yeah. Well, I chose to bring my kids here for relaxed life in nature. You know, my kids get to swim in the rivers every day and go to the beach and go to a nature school, you know, so they spend all day outside. The fresh air, I think, is really good for them, running around, getting all their energy out. And those things we just weren't able to do in the United States. I was really running on on the wheel.
Hamster wheel, 100 miles an hour.
You know, it was never ending. And I lived in Minneapolis, so it was, you want to go anywhere? Okay, 16 layers of clothes on every kid, and I got 4 now. So that would take you like an hour and a half to get out of the house to be outside for 20 minutes. Sounds
like you got some extra time in Costa Rica for a kid.
Yeah. Just not bundling them up to get in the car. That's a saving grace.
You know, I don't think people if they've never been here, I don't know if they really understand. We say Pura Vida here, which means pure life. So very simple life. Mm-hmm. Nobody's working super, super hard.
Except me.
Yeah, you know, they don't really, a lot of people in the United States define themselves through their work. Hey, my name is Michael. I'm a lawyer.
Yes.
Well, they don't really do that here. Yeah. They have a job. They need to make money. Yes. But after their job,
they're out. Life.
Yeah, they're doing their thing. So I don't, the stress of the United States versus here is just
it's a totally different thing.
So I can see the whole kid thing. And then this is a freaking playground.
Yeah,
for a kid, they're gonna learn everything. Nature,
playing with the lizards, capturing. You know, my son had a bird in his hand. My mom sent me a picture. You know, yesterday of him holding a bird. You know, must have crashed into the window. That's not such a good thing. You got to get window stickers so the bird stopped doing that. But he's a little bird rescuer, and he sets them back up.
Actually, just to go there real quick. So, how do you work the school situation? Are we at grade level? What are we doing?
My kids are in a private school, which is like a half-day program. Kids here go to school a lot less hours per day, even in the public schools.
Is it homeschooling or is it?
It's not homeschooling. It's an actual private school, nature school. So they bake bread, they play outside, they build stuff, they garden, they take a trip to the farm, they go down to the beach and go surf lessons. So it's really a social interaction for them. Cool. And then my mom does homeschooling with them as well. So they're still getting a lot of academics. They get some
those
academics
basics
at school.
Arithmetic. Too close to.
Yeah.
We need
they're
that.
starting to read. That's good. My oldest is 8. So.
Do they have any interaction in the United States, or they've always been down here for most of their time?
We moved down here 5 years ago, so they were pretty little. So they pretty much don't remember life in the United States that much.
Let me guess. They can speak Spanish.
Of course.
Man.
Yeah, they're all bilingual.
I just want to hang out with them and learn. Mine's so bad, but they're like sponges.
No, they just know it. They just absorb language, and they correct me, Mom. That's not how you say it. You know what I mean?
Really? So what's the school like? Is it a lot of gringos?
Yeah, it's actually very international. There's a lot of the teachers are from Israel. So my kids are learning a little bit of Hebrew. So there's some other Israeli kids there. Kids from a bunch of different countries are going to the school. So it's a really nice mix, and I love what they're doing with them there. I mean, it's all the things that I think that children need to be learning. They don't need to be sitting in a desk at 5 years old and sit here and do this. They need to know how to live in the world.
I don't want to have this video turn into my trauma. But when I was growing up, I was a riddling kid. I'm a little hyper.
Yeah.
I don't learn how the schools teach.
Yeah.
Why can't you be like your brother?
Yeah.
I had my mouth washed out twice. I had my mouth taped, and I was whacked 7 times. So that just kind of tells you. But kids are. I'm supposed to be outside.
Right. And I have a son that's very much like that. If I put him in a desk, he's going nowhere.
I'm supposed to be running.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be jumping.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be doing things. And
I think most boys are.
I know, but I had such a. It sucked, man. Because I did I have two brothers. Love them. They're great nerds. Just freaking nerds.
Yeah.
Smart as shit. Yeah. I'm the black sheep. Everyone was like, "Can't you be more like your older brother?" Yeah. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah.
So I'm traumatized.
Yeah.
Wait, that's another video.
Yeah, and we don't want to do that to my kids. Yeah. You know, I just want them to feel free and be really who they are. And I know the academics will come. They're very intelligent.
How's that work? So how long is that? Does that school last? Does it go up to all the way?
Yeah, I think, I don't really know when it's. I don't really know how long. I think at some point, we'll probably have to graduate them out when it's time for them to be in a little bit more advanced academics. But the teachers are also willing to work with us. They bring in teachers, so they're willing to work with the children and, continue to move up with them.
Man, if I would have been raised like that, I'd be a better person.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. So you guys live are you in a community? Or do you like out in a house on the side of a mountain?
Yeah, we got a house on the side of a mountain. You never know when it's going to fall down. Like landslides are a real thing here. I think about that while I'm sitting at our house. It's like perched up on the side of the mountain. I'm like, hope this thing's secure there.
There's this place, so my son came out here and we did a road trip with D'Angelo, my partner back in the day, and my son. And we went to Manuel Antonio. And we went to this place. I can't remember what it's called. It was like a 3-story, huge thing, but on a cliff that made no sense.
I know.
And it's like, there is no way. One little, even like a pebble.
And the whole thing.
And it's like, how did this ever get there? Yeah. Who zoned for this?
Yeah.
And I've been seeing that more and more and more. So.
Well, where was it? Close to half, I can't remember. I'm blanking on the name of there. Last year, there was 5 luxury homes that fell in a landslide. Multi-million-dollar homes. Just.
Okay, this is not a Costa Rica selling point, maybe.
No, but you know what I mean. But get good engineers when you're building your house. I mean, walls can be built and stuff can be done to protect. You got to protect the water runoff here.
Did you build a house or did you buy it? Or
no, I'm a
renter.
I'm a renter.
I'm a big time on the renting.
I'm doing good.
You can leave when you want to leave.
Listen, I got in good on my house, 3-bedroom house with an ocean view, $450 a month. Been in since COVID, and I keep the house maintained. I've done a lot to the house. Me and the landlord have a great relationship. Rent stays the same.
$450. Yeah. That's good, guys. I guess for tuning. So mine's a little bullshit Tico house. So obviously it's cheap. It's like $275. Yeah. But it looks $275. It's very Tico-y. No cabinets in the kitchen.
Yeah, mine's
suicide shower stuff.
Mine's a pretty Tico house as well.
But if you were to upgrade even a little bit, you'd already be in the $700-800. That was actually my point.
I think it'd be more like $1,500. Yes. I've been looking around for anything comparable. Rents are going pretty high where I'm at right now.
Does the landlord know?
Well, I think that's why we have this good understanding. I've done quite a bit. I put in a garden. I put in decks. I've redone the roofing on the inside of the house. I've invested quite a bit into the house to make it my home, So he knows that.
Does he deduct it or you just...
It's just like, don't raise my rent and I'm going to keep adding a little to your house.
That's a great deal. That's a great deal.
It is a good deal.
So what is your when you came out here, I know we talked about this before, but I actually do forget. Why did you end up in Costa Rica? I remember you started the restaurant. I remember it was kind of but was it?
What made me come?
And why did you, when you came, were you planning on staying? Or did that just happen?
No, I made the decision. I made a pretty quick decision to move. My best friend was moving down, and I said, what am I going to do? Spend another winter in Minneapolis? Like, my best friend's moving to Costa Rica. I should go. And so I put in my 6-week notice. I sold everything we had, and I was here in November 2019. So I made it just before COVID. Then COVID locked me in. So it was like, well, now you're not going anywhere.
It's such a rock star move. I always like when... because usually, even this relocation retreat, normally it's people my age. They're like retiring. I want to live out the thing. But what we're seeing more is more younger people doing their thing, and it's so cool to see that because I would have never done it when I'm 25 or 30. I'd be like, what? Yeah, another country? Are you serious?
With 2 little kids and with not very much money, it was quite the leap of faith.
And you fell in. If I recall, the whole car thing that she does. You fell into that because you got a shit car, didn't you, or something like that?
Yeah, 4 of them. They sucked me dry. So had I not been locked in for COVID, I would have left because of the car situation.
Just briefly tell that story. We did it in the other video, but just kind of talk about. So she helps you find used cars. Tell that how that happened.
Well, my very first car I bought while I was traveling before I decided to move because I didn't want to rent, and I said, okay, I can buy a car $6,000. It'll get us around. Sell it when I'm done. Died on the way home from the lawyer's office. And
after you already just signed?
I just signed and paid for it. It's dead. And that car ended up being the worst car I've ever owned in my life. I think by the time I sold it, the tires were worth more than the car. Like, seriously, I sold $3,000 cash, and I'd already just put these, like, big, nice tires on. I'm like, whatever you want to do with it. It's been nothing but problems for me.
Are you looking back and
sell the tires?
I'm assuming some of that was your mistake.
What was
on that car?
I just had no idea what I was doing, like most people don't when they come here buying a car. I had just bought a Volvo in the United States, $6,000, one owner, under 100,000 miles, perfectly maintained, leather seats, the whole perfect car. So I thought, I could do the same in Costa Rica, and I'll save money. I lost a lot.
Well, I actually just do a hot tip real quick. Every car here, see, when somebody writes me and goes, Michael, I want to get a car, and I'll ask, what's your budget?
Yeah.
And when they say 10,000, they need to realize that is a $5,000 car.
I think it's actually less
than that.
I think we're looking at a $2,000 to $3,000 vehicle. I mean, really, it's crazy what these cars are selling for.
Oh, so it's even worse.
It's worse.
So what we're trying to say is that cars can be expensive here. So when you say 10,000, Allie's going,
I can't help you.
Not sure if you're going to be suited.
You want to know why? Because I'm going to hold myself liable. You're going to want to hold me liable because I'm the one recommending, right, the car. And so I can't be held liable for a car that's not reliable. And
I'm going to be mad because it's probably not going to be the best of cars.
So I will give you pointers. If that really is your max budget, I get it. There are cars out there. I will give you the warnings and I will give you the pointers on how to go about getting that car. I've got it all written in a buyer's guide. It's not hidden information. You can do it yourself. It's just a complicated process.
Right. I don't know. So, because I actually used to stop people. If they said they wanted to talk to you and they said 10,000, I'd go, Allie's great, but she can't work with this.
Yeah.
But they had no understanding of that 10 is really 4 or 3 or whatever. So,
yeah. Yeah, you just want to be careful because it really might be better to rent. Because if you buy that, $7,000 car and the motor blows, well, now you're in it for 10, 11, but it's still only worth 6 or 7.
Right. Wait, I interrupted the story.
Yeah.
So you got the car.
Yeah, so that was my first car. So when I actually ended up moving here, I had to come with cash to buy another car because this one was just nothing but problems. So that one was getting put off to the side. I'd fix it when I had time. I bought another car. It served me well until I reached the 3-month and 5-day mark when the warranty had expired and the transmission blew. And then I was in Drake Bay.
Of course it did.
I broke down at the night. I'm driving out of Drake Bay. It's evening. There's nobody on the roads to Drake Bay, right? One guy passes me an hour and a half later on a motorcycle. I end up staying at his house with his parents because I had nowhere to go.
Oh my God.
So, and then had to get the tow out. It was so expensive to tow it from there, $700 or something, plus a transmission fix. Now you're without a car for 6 weeks. So now you're renting. So costs can add up quickly when you're trying to save money on a car.
Wait a minute, keep going.
Yeah.
You don't have your business yet. You rented a couple cars. What happened?
Yeah. So I fixed that car, but then eventually I was having another baby and I needed I wanted a 7-passenger vehicle. My family was coming down to visit. Borders had opened after COVID, so they were quickly getting down to see the new baby. And so the only way I could do it though was if I sold this car, had the money to buy the next. So I had to find somebody willing to take my car plus money for their car. So I ended up finding a Montero, 2008. The 1 year I recommend not buying because it was a changeover of body styles. I didn't know. Oh, that car was worse than the first two. And it was more money. So now I'm up to a $27,000 car. So now I'm thinking, okay, but if you're not careful when buying a $20,000 car and you don't know what you're doing, or you have bad mechanics advise you, you'll just end up with more money down the tube. So 5 months later, I've had absolutely enough. I have Bitcoin. Bitcoin's hitting like 50,000. And I said, okay, I got to either build on my property, cash one out, build on my property, or buy a new car. And that was like buy a new car. Keep renting and have a reliable car. Because you got 3 kids now, and breaking down on the mountain in the hot sun and hiking.
It's not an option. It's not an option.
Yeah. So that's how I ended up and I had one more. There was a 4th car that I helped a friend get. That one ends up at a mechanic shop for I don't remember what. It's something to do with a computer part. They tell me for 6 months they've got the car, and they tell me that it's because the part's stuck at the border due to this COVID stuff. Well, finally, I sent a tow truck to pick up the car after 6 months, and I get it to the other mechanic. He goes, your whole transmission bar is missing. So they were using it for parts. Like it was like, oh my goodness.
That's very Costa Rican.
Yeah.
Very Costa Rican story. That's great. And
so know your mechanics, watch what they're doing, see the old parts, if I can just throw that in. I didn't know these things.
So you really seriously go, hey, this car thing's an issue down here, so let me do some more homework and research and help people get a car.
Yeah, I said there's got to be a way to navigate this system.
Yeah.
And, for people like me who just thought buying a car was pretty simple. I'm from the United States. All we did was change oil and brakes. We drove pretty new cars, so.
Well, I don't know. We talked about it in the other video, but I remember you just saying, even where you live, because I like my little car. It's a Vitara, but man, come on, man.
Works here.
Yeah, I know, but it does. Up the mountain is like
it's got
winding
the littlest
out.
Motor.
Right. So people need to know that if you're going to be living in certain places, this car is not going to work.
Yeah. No, there definitely are many cars that don't work. Actually, we're very limited on what cars work in most parts of Costa Rica.
Yep.
It's not exciting. We don't have all the different kinds of cars.
Right. It's not like a 50-page.
Pick from 3.
Yeah, right. Okay, I just want to go back a little bit. So the United States, actually, we didn't even talk about what we said we were going to talk about. But
we're riffing.
Yeah, we are. But so why have you fallen in love with Costa Rica? Is it the simple life? It's
the simple life. And I tell you what, every time that I do go back to the United States, which is really only about once a year, and I'm reminded why I want to be here. Even just the airport experience, right? Like leaving Costa Rica, coming back into Costa Rica, you're like everybody's nice, everybody's chill, everybody's smiling at immigration. You get to the United States and it's like, who are you?
This is too funny. I just got back. My mom lives in Portland, Maine. Got to go see the mom.
Yeah.
Just got back about a month ago. And I feel the same. It's like, man.
It's like PTSD when I come back from there because they're on you.
Yeah, but everywhere I go, so even if we go to the store, go to the grocery store, people's faces are stressed. Yeah. Everybody you run into, just like, it's not even the hamster wheel. It's the hamster wheel plus whatever.
It's a way of life that is different here. Like people are raised in a relaxed manner here. And so that becomes who you are. And I think in the United States, we're raised under all this stress that we just walk around with these like poopy faces.
Because we always have to have something to do.
Yeah.
Next thing, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
I've become a better mother since living here because I've become more relaxed. I had to reflect on my own behavior when I moved here and see, look at how the mothers interact with their children. They just stay calm. The children just listen. There's no yelling. You go to the United States in the grocery store, get over here, Sammy. I said, don't touch it, put it in the cart. Tika mothers do not talk to their kids like that.
They do not. And
come here, my love. Come here, my love.
The Pura Vida thing is real. I don't know. Maybe it sounds like it is a slogan, but it really is a simple life thing. The thing I like that you guys are doing is the kids.
Yeah.
Because I should have been raised like that.
Yeah.
And I'd be probably a much better person because, man, that shit's traumatizing. You know, I don't learn like you do. Yeah. You know, I'm like, oh, I'm not smart, obviously.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's just
that gets
plays with you, we'll say.
Yeah.
So just the fact that, you know, you got them in a good school.
Yeah.
They get to, you know, look at butterflies. You know what I mean?
You know?
I don't know what all this rigidity came in. Oh, you got to, homework, 3 hours. Just do your math.
Get home from school and do more school.
Calm down.
Yeah.
Calm down. We're good. Everything's going to be fine.
Kids only have once in their life to be kids. You know, we have a very short window where we actually learn through play. And that gets chopped off too early in the United States. Kids need to play. That's how they learn. And then you reach like 11, right? You're not really playing with cars and dolls anymore. Now you're kind of done with that play stage. So just let them play. Yeah,
this was, you know, that's how I got out here. I worked with behavioral problem kids, and the thing I liked about when I was raised, forget the school part of it, that wasn't great, but you know what? When you went out, it was kids. There was no adults. So when somebody clotheslined me in a football game and I started crying like a little bitch, and people would they might start laughing at me. What am I going to do? Am I going to leave? Am I going to start crying? Am I going to fight him? Are we going to continue to play the game? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? You work that shit out, and there is no adult going, Tommy,
it's your turn. Don't do that.
No, you're a little bitch. Quit crying, you hoe. You know, you have to, what do? So you learn all that stuff. Yeah. How to work, deal with frustration, how to problem solve, anger management, how to make friends, all that shit is without the adult there.
Less adult interference when children are playing is key. I'll sit back and just let my kids hash it out. Yeah, unless somebody's really in danger.
Yeah,
but I'm just like, to me, screaming, yelling, crying, that's just normal background noise. Like
you learn by dealing with frustration. That's the whole thing. You don't want to save the kid from frustration. Right. You want him to be frustrated so he understands how to work that out. Yeah. You know, so I don't know, man. I think it's so cool because there's a lot of people I think coming down, kind of doing you a little bit. You know, doing the
a lot of kids are bringing their families. A lot of people are bringing their families down here. Yeah.
And I know homeschooling is technically illegal.
Technically illegal. However, we have my kids registered they're United States citizens, and they're registered in the state of Wisconsin, where I was from, in the homeschool registration program. So may or may not be a way around it if they're United States citizens.
Do they cross over?
I don't think so, but if you were to ever be questioned, you know what I mean? Well, I'm a United States citizen and I have my certificate of schooling, you know?
So no plans?
I mean, I can't say that for sure, but we do that as a backup. No, but my kids are in a private school, you know?
So what's the future? You staying here?
Yeah, I don't think I'm going anywhere for a while. It's hard to move around with all these little kids.
I don't know. I think moving's the worst thing in life anyway.
Yeah,
so I already don't want to do it. Where are you at again? You outside of Vita?
Yeah, I'm up in Platinillo.
Yeah, so that's the mover and shaker. The last 5 years, man, that's the place to go.
Yep. It's nice, but I do love the mountains in the Central Valley. You know, I would move a little higher altitude if I could.
Yeah, don't underestimate the humidity.
Yeah. I can feel it now.
It gets hotter, man. It's like, Mike, is it always this hot? Yes.
Well, La Fortuna seems hotter than certain, you know, I mean, there's higher altitude.
Oh, no, it's hotter here.
It's hotter here.
And it's gotten hotter.
It almost feels hotter than the beach. Like I come in and I'm like, why does it feel so hot?
You know, it's so funny. So I've been in the same place I never had air conditioning.
Yeah.
No air conditioning. I have a fan. My computer is here. There's a fan on me. And then at night, I have a fan next to my bed. Always used a fan. And there would be a couple days in the year where I'm sweating like and it would be terrible. But those 2 days that would normally happen in a year has turned into like freaking 4 weeks. It has been the most hottest freaking thing. So my friend who lives in California gave me his little 1200 BTU movable air conditioner. Yeah. I ended up buying it. I'm like, It's gotten hot. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt that about coming here. I kept thinking, like, I was thinking, that I'm leaving, going up. It should be cooler when I get to La Fortuna. And I get here and I'm like, I'm just sweating.
I was watching bees when we were talking.
I know, it's just rolling down my face.
Anyway, guys, I love talking to Allie. It's just, we're just conversing. I actually forgot this camera was on.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. Anyway, Allie, thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. More kids in the future? You heard it here first. She's pregnant again with triplets. Oh, maybe I might have made that up. I might have made that up.
Yeah, watch your mouth.
Guys, I'm Mike Long, travelcostaricanow.com. Hey, man, my videos are going to pop up. If you're thinking about living or traveling anywhere, always do your homework and research. If it's Costa Rica, Allie, I'm going to see my videos.
Gotta watch them.
All right, man. Ciao.